In Module 3, we considered the type and amount of expenses you might have to pay, but you should also think about the timing of these payments. Cash flow forecasting and management are the most critical skills you need to maintain the life of the business. Growth comes from profits, survival comes from cash flow. You must be able to pay all your bills on the days expected or contracted with your suppliers. This means that not every dollar in the cash register is available for your personal use. Preparation of a cash flow forecast is quite easy once you collect a few important pieces of information. It's critical that you spend time on getting that information and on trying to ensure that it's as accurate as possible. From that point, it's just a matter of setting out some figures in columns. Cash flow forecasting involves three things: forecasting the volumes of cash that will flow into and out of the business, forecasting the timings of the cash flow into and out of the business, and determining the cash at bank on set dates based on these volumes and timings. Cash flow into the business will come from the following sources: cash from sales, cash from the owner's equity, cash from bank loans. Cash will flow out of the business at commencement to buy plant equipment and stock, to pay once-off establishment costs, and to pay operating expenses in advance such as insurance and rent, etc. Then, once the business is running, cash will flow out to pay operating expenses, to buy replacement stock, to repay the bank loan, and to provide cash for the owner's personal living. Look at the example of a cash flow forecast in your workbook. Here is the simplified version. Cash in bank at month start. Estimated cash in. Estimated cash out. Cash flow. Cash in bank at month end. It's obvious that if more cash flows in than out over a given period, the cash at bank will increase. And of course, the reverse can happen. More cash out than in will reduce the cash at bank. If the cash at bank falls below zero into overdraft, that's actually extending your bank loan. You can't run an overdraft without making an arrangement with the bank. If your cash flow forecast shows a negative bank balance, then it will be necessary to borrow more than you originally planned in your capital budget. Generally, cash flow forecasts are done on a spreadsheet. We've provided a cash flow chart to make the routine calculations easier. There are some blank sections for you to insert any additional material particular to your proposed business. You should discuss the preparation of your cash flow forecast with your accountant or business advisor. Your accountant may be able to help put the details into an already prepared spreadsheet, but won't provide the information. That will come from you. Now, here are some points to help you think about your cash flow forecast. Most business activity follows seasons. Sales of products may relate to the weather, winter or summer, or to the holiday season, Christmas or Easter. It may relate to gift giving time. When are you thinking of starting your business? Before the season, in order to be well established when the season breaks, or just at the beginning of the season? This knowledge is best gained from industry experience. Monthly sales estimate. What total sales do you estimate for each month? Consider that if the business is just starting, you will have few, if any, customers in the early months, and a lower level of sales in the first year than later in its life. Discuss this with an accountant or business advisor. A starting point may be to take the figure from your sales target, divide it by 12 to give you an average, and revise how long it may take to get to that average level. Credit accounts. If you sell your products or services on credit, how long will people take to pay? Be careful to estimate when they will actually pay, not when you say they should pay. If you offer 30 days credit, will it be 45 days or more before you have the cash in hand? Credit card purchases are generally regarded as cash sales. Capital contributions. Initial capital will come into your business bank account in the first month of operations from your own equity and from loan funds. Capital purchases and payments. These will largely be made in the first and second months of the life of your business, then as funds are available. Regular monthly payments. Some payments like rent, leases, bank charges, vehicle expenses, etc. will be made every month. Regular quarterly payments. Some payments like telephone, light and power, etc. will be made every quarter. Try to estimate in which particular months the payments will be made. Single annual payments. Some payments like insurance, rates and property taxes, etc. will only be made once per year. In which month? Now complete your own cash flow forecast. Initially, work with the payment of expenses, and if you have difficulty predicting the sales, leave that until you've completed the marketing module. Remember, the cash at bank month start for a particular month is exactly the same amount as the cash at bank month end from the previous month. The next step is to examine your monthly totals. Are there any months in which the bottom row, cash at bank month end, is negative? This means you anticipate overdrawing your bank account. As I mentioned earlier, an overdrawn account is really a loan. You can't overdraw your account without prior arrangement with your bank. Go back to your figures and check the following. Have you placed all of the payments in the correct months? Is it possible you've underestimated your sales? Is it possible to defer some purchases of plant and equipment? Can you make some single annual payments half-yearly, quarterly, or even monthly instead? Are your drawings by owners too high? In most instances, you won't be able to draw cash from the business for your own needs for several months. If you try to draw cash too early, you'll be withdrawing the working capital. You should discuss your finished cash flow forecast with your accountant or business advisor.